Joe presents Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby, together with Guinness.
Hello and you're very welcome to Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby here on Joe together with Guinness. Coming up on today's show, we have a chat with Leinster, Ireland and Lions prop Jack McGrath, who'll be joining us on the couch later on. We look ahead to the return of the Champions Cup. We announce our Guinness Made of More Player of the Weekend. We will answer a lot of your Twitter questions. But first of all, we're going to start with Munster getting the job done out west. Munster went top of the Guinness Pro 14 Conference A table after beating Connacht 31-24 over in Galway. Trimby, when you watch Connacht versus Munster, where does your allegiance lie as an Ulster player or Ulster fan?
Fairly neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Just leaning. I'd be Connacht leaning.
Oh, really?
But it's marginal.
Yeah. Why is that?
I suppose it's just
A little bit of an underdog?
slightly underdog. Yeah, I'd say there's nothing more to it than that.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, fairly neutral. Not really that bothered, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Very good game though, wasn't it?
It was a brilliant game.
Yeah, way better game than the Ulster Leinster game.
Yep. Very competitive. Obviously,
Yeah.
I was excited when I saw the two teams that were picked. They're both are obviously neck and neck in the league table, so they both wanted to win it.
Yeah. From a Munster point of view, I know we talked about this in the past, but last week they would have been obviously that Leinster Munster. It's never not going to have what it had, that kind of level of intensity and competitiveness. But this game is arguably more important to Munster just because Connacht are right behind them, right at their heels.
Yeah,
so, I think you could tell by the way they played.
Yeah, there is a little bit of niggle there between the two of them as well. I think there's over the last few years, there's been Connacht when they got that win down in Thome Park a few years ago. It's always still a little bit. I think Munster a bit sour over that. So they went out to win it, and I for one was very impressed with how Munster played. I think they've, for me, have finally gotten a very solid game plan, which I haven't seen all season. When I interviewed Raj here, we gave you a break that day. Raj's words were...
I was standing over there.
yeah. They were nervous to let the two of us at him for some reason. It was terrifying. Raj's words were that day that he said Munster can't and shouldn't try and be Leinster. They have to try and be Munster and find their own style of play, their own identity, which stuck with me a lot over the last few months. I've been trying to kind of understand what exactly he was talking about, and when I looked at Munster's games over the last 5 months, they've struggled to put together performance after performance that looked like the same game plan, if you know what I mean. Like they went out and played against like Edinburgh Dragons, Ospreys and Ulster in the season, put 50 points on and played a very kind of expansive game. And they had a few games in the Champions Cup, like the 2 games against Cast, the Exeter game, where they were quite conservative and play a lot of kicking game, and they didn't seem to have the balance of playing, an expansive game. And so it was kind of unsure where they were. The 2 Leinster matches they've played were a little bit unusual with all the disciplinary action in them. So for this one, I just felt they finally gotten into a stride. The stride being their defensive line speed, their attitude in defence is probably the foundation of everything. Their line speed is incredible. I think their attitude is get up off the line as fast as you can, put the opposition's skill set under so much pressure that they chicken shit out from getting the ball from one side of the field to the other, and they cut back inside, to which you've got a wall on the inside and you're gobbling players up, and you've got the likes of Byrne and O'Mahony there to turn over the ball, which they're obviously doing a lot.
And that's more impressive considering the way Connacht like to play, and how Connacht have been very effective at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite the way they were a couple of years ago when they won the league, but they're still very good at going out the back and then linking well to backs and getting space on the edge. So Munster did really well in that respect.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, Connacht probably got around them a few times in the latter parts of the game, which shows that there are holes in that strategy if you don't have everyone buying into it. And if even one player switches off with that defensive line, it can cause a chink in your armoury. But attacking wise for Munster, then they've seemed to have really honed in on that line out and maul option. I think they'd a flawless line out bar one, which kind of was a little bit messy, but every other line out they either came down off the top and went to Farrell up the middle or Goggin up the middle. They mauled very, very well, scored tries off it. They scrummed very well, scored a try off a scrum close to the line. They kicked exceptionally well. They put Connacht under a lot of pressure with low drill kicks into the corners, kept drilling Connacht back. And
that was one of the most significant,
wasn't it?
Kind of contributions that Carbery's made. Like, I suppose in the last 5-6 weeks, you've seen more and more of it. Just that game management, that kind of maturity, and you could see he's really finding his feet now. He's finding his role. He's got that X factor, but he's also able to put the ball in behind and put teams under defence and turn wingers and make it very uncomfortable to play against Munster. And as you say, and as Rog says, that's your classic feeling when you're playing against Munster. You'll be uncomfortable. You'll be under pressure. You'll be getting a lot of heat in defence. Your scrum will be under pressure. Your line up will be under pressure. And yeah, I think all of them are contributing massively. I think O'Mahony's driving the pack and Carbery's driving the backs, and the two of them had massive games, I thought.
They did. I was delighted to see Peter O'Mahony's name on the team sheet.
He's a big game player, isn't he?
Isn't he? I think he's having the season of his life at this point. I heard during the preseason that he had a huge preseason. His fitness was better than ever, and he was working very hard. And it's just shown in every game that he's played. He has massive moments throughout now in every aspect of the game, and three turnovers again at the weekend, and a couple of line-out steals as well. Which, as you said, they pinned them in the corner. Like Earlsey had a few kicks, Conway, Carbery, Murray, where they're pinning Connacht in the corner and then getting up with 3 or 4 jumpers in the line out and putting them under serious pressure. And that is the Munster style of play now. And it's really, but then they also had the ability to mix it up. They scored some brilliant tries. That was it Goggins' second try. They had a maul in their own 22 defensive maul. They had a little dart down the blind. Earlsey had a switch, and then Earlsey had a second switch a few phases later. Switches, are they overrated? Underrated, rather? Are they?
Are we going to have a blanket policy on switches, which is, in our opinion, are underrated?
Yeah, we think they are. Change of direction. Whoa!
Whoa!
No,
he was going that way. And then
now he's going this way. They're not done as much as they should. And there was 2 done in that move, and they completely fooled Connacht.
Yeah. Well, especially against the hard line speed.
Yeah.
When you're getting a lot of, whenever there's a bit of deception, bit of change, last second at the line, it's very difficult to cope with.
Done well. If a 10 can bring it to the line, step really hard, drag someone out of position, and then the whoever is switching with him, so obviously does something similar going the opposite direction. And
yeah, especially if it's someone like, as you say, a 10 like Carbery, where he is a genuine threat. He will beat his the guy defending him. He will beat him on the outside if he doesn't overchase. So he needs to be a genuine threat to create that space on the inside to drop someone into. Connacht were fairly handy as well. Connacht have been really unlucky this Interpro kind of the last 3 weeks. They could have won 3 from 3. Easily could have won 3 from 3. They should have won that. They definitely should have won the RDS, and they could have easily won the other night as well.
Yeah, I thought Tom Farrell obviously was the standout player for them. 1 try, 1 assist, 3 big line breaks, offloads, 102 metres made, 14 carries in the game as well. We have a clip of him scoring that try when he ripped the ball from Arno Botha that we're going to play for you now.
Oh, Botha's been ripped away, goes foul. He's going to make it all the way. Thomas Farrell's going to get the opening score for Connacht, and did absolutely nothing. As good as an intercept.
That was a gift.
Well,
They've got some afters going on down there, which is surprisingly unnecessary.
all a little bit unnecessary. I think it was the next Connacht player in support was celebrating in front of the crowd. Munster not happy.
Red 12.
Well, we'll see here. It's a pass from Joey Carbery, and Bolton takes it into contact, and everything looks good here. And then suddenly Farrell strips the ball and takes off in the opposite direction.
Conway didn't even notice it was gone.
Well,
That was the problem.
Conway was going in to clean out the ruck that he thought the ball was, but Farrell was having the opposite direction.
So that was, Tom Farrell ripping the ball out of Arna Botha's hands and run the length of the field for a try.
Yeah, he disguised the ball. Earlsey, I think, ran right past him.
Yeah, didn't look like he had the ball.
Yeah, Earlsey was like looking the other way around, and he's the one fella who would catch him.
Yeah,
not the one fella, but he would definitely catch him. You would have thought.
Had a good go with it anyway.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant, Tom Farrell. He was the one player that was making it difficult for Munster to use that line speed and cut off that wide pass. He seemed to be able to get around it. Made a good few breaks, and he's very kind of confident and
he's flying at the minute. Yeah, up until now, well, his game's been largely kind of around that physical kind of dimension to his game, just getting over the gain line, getting offloads. And I'm sure he's been doing it a little bit, but he's got a real bit of footwork as well. Step someone went through, and then the distribution as well. He's got a wee bit of everything, that fella.
Yeah, like when Joe Schmidt comes to picking his midfielders for the Six Nations, their options are pretty unbelievable at the moment. You've Bundy Akey, Robbie Henshaw. I think between the two of them probably have 12 sewn up. I couldn't look beyond either of those. I'm not sure when Henshaw's back. When is Henshaw back, Pat?
He should be back. I'd say he'll probably play one of these European games. He should be back for the start of Six Nations.
Cool. So one of them. Then you've Ringrose, Chris Farrell, Will Addison, Sammy Arnold, Stuart McCluskey, Tom Farrell, Rory Scannell, Dan Goggin, Conor O'Brien, who we'll talk a lot about later on, Rory O'Loughlin, just a number of players there. I think for me, Ringrose will probably be number 1, 13 at the moment. Maybe Chris Farrell, Addison, and then Tom Farrell will be behind them. But I'd love to see him get acknowledged and brought into the squad if possible. But Jesus, doesn't look like
if anybody else was playing that well, back row and centre, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anybody else in Ireland was playing that well, you'd be talking about them seriously. Starting for Ireland in Six Nations, but
mad to see that many players. But yeah, look, I think considering that, even though Connacht did play quite well, Munster, I thought, controlled the game. Carbery, thought he was brilliant. 5 out of 5 kicks a goal, and scored a great try, showing his footwork.
It's nice to see that we change up as well. Push him out to 15, and then just he's just got a little bit more space, and he can. It's almost like it's a little bit of freedom for him out there. It's just slightly less responsibility.
Yeah,
and he looked like he enjoyed that as well. Really talented players, and he can mix it.
Timing that was perfect, actually. You're right. So yeah, look, they got their tails up now. After going into the Christmas, they were a little bit looking like it might be a tough Christmas for them, having lost to Cast and then lost to Ulster, but big 2 weeks for them, and now heading into the Gloucester game on Friday in the Champions Cup. Huge game, obviously. I watched Gloucester versus Leicester today, which was it was a really tough game. Gloucester were beaten 34-16 in Welford Road. Leicester kind of played like Munster, a lot of speed and defence, put Gloucester under a huge amount of pressure. Gloucester's coughed up loads of ball. They were thrown around from all over the place, trying offloads that just weren't working. So that would suit Munster if they can bring that level of speed to their defence the weekend. They do quite deep as well, so they were throwing the ball like 20 yards behind the gain line a couple of times.
Gloucester were?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And getting around Leicester. So again, like Connacht were doing in Munster. Munster just need to be a little bit aware of that. But attack-wise, Leicester took Gloucester quite wide and like around 4th and 5th defender, took one-off runners like quite wide, you know what I mean, going on overs rather than attacking A, B, C and pillar, went a bit wider and stretched their defence a lot, which I would love to see. Murray having a little bit more of a dart, carrying a little bit more of the ball, firing wider passes, using Chris Farrell to bang it up through wide channels in the
Yeah.
middle, you know.
You think they'll go? Will they go Farrell and Goggin?
I-
Or they bring back Scannell?
I think Scannell, to be honest, Scoggins on a natural 12,
Yeah.
more of a 13. So he did very well at the weekend, scored 2 tries, but I think Scannell and Farrell have a little bit more of an understanding at the moment.
Yeah.
Be my take. So yeah, it's going to be a huge game. Kicking will be very important again, but you know, I think they can put Banahan under pressure. You can turn a guy like that with those little drill kicks you're talking about. You get a big guy like that, and you turn him on his heels, and also then putting Sharples under pressure with
Yeah.
some high balls. Yeah, but I would still like to see them play some ball, use some switches. You know, just loads of switches, please. But yeah, it's going to be a great battle on Friday night, 7:45 over in Gloucester. Have you ever played over there?
I have played 7 for Ireland over there.
What? How did that happen?
That sounds like we planted that.
You'd have been a good 7, I'd say.
That sounds like we planted that conversation.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
asked you to say that.
yeah.
But that that was
We did
organic.
not.
It was against the Barbarians, and I was on the bench, and then I think we had a few injuries. Can't remember what happened, and then Kidney goes, "You're going to come on at 7 here."
How did you get on? Did you have any scrums?
Yeah, scrum.
I once scrummaged in 7 because we were down a wing forward and I didn't know where to put my head.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been Marcus Horn. I put my head up his ass. You put your shoulder on, and I was just thinking when he's there, Baz, get your head out of my arse, man.
Didn't Johnny May do something like that?
He did.
For England as
yeah.
well.
So embarrassing. As many times I've watched the scrum, I've never gone, that's what you do. I've never
Yeah.
looked at it going,
If you'd watched O'Mahony earlier on in the season, though, he looked like he was scrummaging like a winger or a centre. Did you see he was doing that? He was grabbing
oh, yeah.
like the tight heads, one leg.
Yeah. Which is illegal, right?
Apparently, yeah, but he got away with it
And were you
because he's so streetwise.
and were you effective as a 7? Did you?
I wouldn't describe my performance as effective. I think that would be too complimentary.
It's such a good place to play, to just go on and roam around.
That's
around
what I
the place,
thought, but I felt quite under pressure. I felt very self-conscious. I was like, oh, everybody knows I haven't a clue what I'm doing here. I remember because Nevin Spence was on the bench at the same time, and he got brought on, I think, in the centre and the wing,
Yeah.
and I got brought on at 7, and he was raging. He was like, I'm way more of a 7 than you. I'm way more physical than you.
You would have loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was a
That was your
strange
one
one.
experience in Gloucester.
Yeah, I ended up I scrummed a good few times against South Africa on tour that time as well, and that was a long because Henshaw got taken off. Or no, sorry, he got taken off. I'm talking crap.
Who was Henshaw? He did his knee over in South Africa.
Why did I end up in the scrum though? CJ got
got
red
taken off.
carded.
Red
Yeah,
card,
sorry. I thought I was talking rubbish.
You
Yeah,
were.
CJ went off. Anyway. I played. Ended up. I must have scrummaged like 4 or 5 times
Go
against the
away.
Springboks.
Oh
like,
my god!
how far out of a depth am I there? And we won.
You would. That's perfect. That's like something from a movie when stuff
Yeah.
like that starts happening. Like
Yeah.
even with Andrew Trimble in
Yeah,
the scrum. God.
Yeah.
Well, look, moving on. Leinster hammering Ulster in the RDS. Pretty routine victory, I think, going back to where they were before Christmas, Leinster.
Yeah.
Ulster sent down an obviously severely under strength side to face them. Leinster with Jack McGrath, Sean Cronin, Andrew Porter, Rob Carney, quite an experienced side as well, and have some bolters and young lads. But 47 in the end, and Ulster suddenly slipped from 2nd to 5th.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
that's-
only a couple of points off, obviously.
Yeah, it's massive though, isn't it? So Treviso, Edinburgh.
What about
Scarlet.
Treviso, yeah?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I mean, it's again, as you said, it's only a couple of points in it, but still, it's there'll be a few nervous games now. Actually, after,
Treviso next, I think.
Yeah, the end of January. Yeah,
Big game.
is that over there?
No, it's at home.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big game. Yeah. Those
Yeah.
like all of a sudden those games become a little bit more nervous than they would have been, but
Yeah.
and that one probably could be a little bit nervous because I think Ulster have proven that whenever they bring back the big names, the Rory Best, the Hendersons, the Stockdales, obviously Hendy's going to be out for a little while, but the John Coonies, the McCluskeys, bring back the big names, and they tend to get the job done. That kind of back-to-back double 5-pointer against Scarlets was really, really impressive, kind of really back to the way things should be for Ulster. And then Munster was a decent performance as well, but then whenever you bring in a few guys, I think it's fine. I think Ulster could cope, no problem, if they bring back one or two young fellas, kind of dip them in and out, just to, if you bring in a loose head when he's got Rory Best beside him, you bring in a second row when he's got Henderson beside him, I think they'll be fine, no problem, one or two guys. But it's whenever there's a team full of youngsters, then it becomes very difficult. You just haven't got that experience, that kind of resilience that you need when you go to the RDS. So, it was tough. A few lessons learned for Ulster, but I think they dug in reasonably well at times for the amount of young fellas, the amount of kind of guys who are a wee bit wet behind the ears. That experience will probably stand to them.
Yeah, I think from any team's perspective, going in and playing against Leinster, and they put, in the first 6 minutes, they'd put 26 phases together, 3 minutes keeping the ball, and the variety in their play from Cronin, O'Brien, Porter, Deegan, Frawley, there was so much going on, and I don't think many teams would be able to live with that. Finishing off with Cronin scoring that first try, but it was just back to business for Leinster and how we were so used to seeing them play before Christmas. And then that kind of continued. I don't think they made a mistake until the 26th minute. I think they dropped the ball, and up until that, it was just kind of flawless.
That's Leinster of old, though.
Yeah.
I always think that Leinster, when they're at their best, when they have the ball, you will not get the ball back off them.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. They'll just continue to resource a breakdown, look after the ball, play sensible rugby, and all the time they're just making more and more of a foothold in your defensive line, getting more and more momentum, and then it becomes inevitable. When Leinster are at their best, that's what they look like, I think, and it's really soul-destroying when you're playing against that.
Yeah.
So, as we're saying, whenever Leinster are playing like that, to dig in a little bit, I thought a lot of Ulster guys, should be reasonably proud of how they dug in and performed and hung in there and showed a bit of resilience.
Yeah, I think Conor O'Brien was the standout. I said we'd mentioned him earlier on. I thought he was a standout player for Leinster. That try he scored, obviously, to make it 19-7 after 15 minutes, and obviously the defence wasn't great for that. I think we all agree to that, but he's a powerful guy. Again, adding to how many 13s we have in the country at the moment, but he's also a great offloader, always looking to offload, good passer, good footwork, similar enough kind of player to Tom Farrell, actually. But we have a clip of that try here, actually, the one he scored after 15 minutes.
He knew what was coming, potentially nothing he could do about it. That's a really clever piece of play from the kick-off, orchestrated beautifully. Frawley now he gets Conor O'Brien, and he can be very strong and physical. Oh, that's brilliant, and he's still going. Superb try from Conor O'Brien. Leinster's third of the night, and that will take some beating. An Ulster player couldn't lay a glove on him. He's so big and strong and direct, and he just moved through the gears, and he bypassed 3 or 4 challenges.
What a phenomenal quality kick-off from Frawley, the young out half. But Rob Kearney, as if it's his first game for Leinster 10, 12 years ago. And just 2 passes, and all of a sudden Ulster's defence just crumbles. Great play, keeping his head, pivoting around, looking at his options. But Ulster couldn't land a hit and just slow him down in any shape or form. They should have got him down, they didn't.
Yeah, Conor O'Brien there scoring another try for Leinster. Also want to give special mention to Sean Cronin. He's 8 tries in 11 games this season, from only 8 starts and 3 as a sub. 264 metres made off 54 carries. He scored another 2 great tries. Explosive speed. Just seems to know to be, when to be in the right place, the right time, and
but he just grew. He's just so powerful. It looks like it definitely wasn't a foregone conclusion that he was going to get over. You just thought it looked like he just gets the ball, and he's so powerful. He just, I don't know. It's really, really difficult to understand how physical or how dynamic he is. But and he's always been like that as well. I remember training with him in the gym at Carton House one time when we were doing sleds, and I couldn't keep up with him. He's a powerhouse, honestly. He's a machine. Yeah,
no, it was brilliant. And second half didn't offer much, to be honest. A lot of mistakes made in that. But all in all, yeah, great win for Leinster. And look, Ulster won't, I suppose, as you said, going down there with a weakened team, won't look into it too much. But right, coming up, we look ahead to the Champions Cup. We'll tackle your Twitter questions and reveal our Guinness Made of More Player of the Weekend. But next, we welcome Mr. Jack McGrath into the studio. Okay, very warm House of Rugby welcome to Jack McGrath. How are we doing, Jack?
Very well, very well.
Thanks for joining us on the show, man. And I must say, great to see you back on the pitch for Leinster last night. How are you feeling today?
A little bit stiff. It's great to be back. 5 weeks is a long time in rugby. And yeah, it's a busy few weeks for us now, so delighted to get 50 minutes under the belt last night.
Did you do anything to recover today? I saw Keith Earls was down the Atlantic Ocean washing himself today. Did you do anything similar?
No, I slept in a little bit. I went down and I got in the sea on Tuesday and I swore I wouldn't do it again. So
how long did you last?
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah, it was some 90-year-old lady got in and she was in there for about 10 minutes and I probably can't show my face around there now anymore. But
wow.
Yeah.
Was it a swim or just a sit?
Sit. Yeah. I can't really squat anymore with the hips, so I just fall in.
A 2 minute sit. That would probably go longer than a 2 minute swim. 2 minute swim, at least you'd be distracted. That's maybe the 90-year-old lady. That's her secret.
Yeah,
keeps herself busy.
Backstrokes. Count them out.
Get the goggles on.
Yeah.
Jack, I've been talking you up flat out non-stop. I've been saying we got to get Jack in here. This show will go nowhere until we get Jack in. My big Leinster burly loose head from Dublin. It's once been said that if there was a banter 15 of Irish rugby, that you'd be one of the senior players.
Who made that list?
When I say it's once been said,
just now.
Yeah, just there. Yeah.
Who else is on this list?
You and I, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we are picking the team.
Okay.
And it's going to be largely made around us.
Okay.
Around the best players. So yeah, you're a Sexton or a Murray. You're tier 1 banter, and then the rest of us we can kind of look to you and say, is this good enough banter, Jack? And you can lead the way in your banter. But I'm very excited about the impact you're going to have on the show. It's going to be up there with the Drico Tana episode. Did you listen to that? Are you a friend of the show?
Yes.
Are you not a fan? No.
I am. Like I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to a lot of podcasts, but yeah, I will now that you guys are my friends now.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I meant to say I am?
No, I would like
to
be
honest.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really listen to a whole lot of rugby stuff.
We don't talk.
Yeah. Well, then that's perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Then
for.
tune in.
Yeah.
We actually we get a hard time for not talking about rugby enough. Mark Robson gave me a shout. Mark Robson, the commentator, and he said, "Would you ever consider mentioning rugby at any stage in your rugby podcast?" So, we kind of tend to get carried away with tangents, and
that's good though.
I think so.
Yeah, you're the Irish Joe Rogan.
Yes. Wow.
That's a challenge.
Wow.
We should make this a 3-hour podcast. Like,
Yeah.
we should just sit here, the three of us, talking about UFC for 3 hours.
Cancel the next appointment.
Just get comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wish we'd something to eat or something like that while we were here. That would be sweet, but
Yeah, like a Chinese.
Yeah.
A pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a casserole.
Any
or something.
food. Yeah, anything. Covered in tin foil.
Oh yeah. There you go.
For our listeners.
Oh, wow.
Jack brought us a surprise
Oh, my
present. And look,
goodness.
it's covered in tinfoil.
Wow.
And it's food.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
it's Biltong. You didn't know what it was for a second. He goes, oh, wow.
It's chopped steak. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that biltong?
It is, yeah.
Those look
Homemade. Yeah.
amazing.
Homemade. Yeah.
Send that
Yeah,
that
that's.
way.
Wow. Go on,
Hopefully you
talk
like it.
us
It's
through.
a little bit salty, but
Oh,
Talk us through how you make this.
you like it?
it's amazing. That is genuinely amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
concur. Unreal.
Yeah, I actually kind of picked the brains of Rickard Strauss last year because he would have known what he was doing, and basically, yeah, I bought a lot of stuff on Amazon. You can get like a Biltong box that you hang the stuff in, and it has a little fan and a light, and it dries out the meat, and you just put the meat in with vinegar and a bit of leave it for like 6 hours, and then you put it out and you put it in the dry rope and hang it for like 2 days, and it ends up like that. So it's pretty easy.
Where do you hang it? In the
Like, so there's this Biltong box that's like that size, and I have it in the shed, and just kind of hang it there and go out and check it to make sure it's not.
It doesn't go off.
Gone
Like,
off.
why
Well,
does it
like
go
I
off?
wouldn't. It doesn't go off after 2 days. No, well, because there's a load of salt and stuff in the dry rope, so it's
Right.
like the
Preserves
salted.
it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I like 3 or 4 days. I'd say I keep for the most, but generally it doesn't last too long if I bring it into training. So.
So it's just for personal consumption, or maybe your colleagues?
Well, because there's so much of it, I wouldn't eat all of that. Like, so.
You're not
I
selling
eat,
it?
Well, I might go into the business now. Yeah, now that I've sort of gone viral with this. So.
Yeah.
I've spoken to a few.
Dave Kilcoyne is talking about doing this as well. Is
Really,
he
yeah.
stealing this from you? I presume.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. He said this to me the other day. He was like, I'm making my own biltong. Well, you're up against it, killer. That's unreal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more.
Is it unprofessional of us to be
It's good that you're still eating it.
eating biltong on air?
Yeah.
This
Have
is
some
my,
of your
this
own.
is my dinner, man.
Good stuff.
So, why does everybody call you Jasper Carrot? Why's that?
That came about actually. It's more you, just actually, isn't it?
Who is he? Was he the comedian?
No.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a comedian. Yeah.
Singer as well, isn't he?
Oh, I didn't know he was a singer.
I
Then he
don't
was like a
He used
TV
to sing
presenter.
during his comedy act.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Forgot about him. He was brilliant.
he hasn't replied to us on Twitter.
when was that? 4 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were drunk in the airport. I
Oh, you
think
tweeted him.
I don't think he's live on Twitter.
Yeah, no, he's. I don't think he's even got a blue tick. This guy
No.
hasn't got a blue tick.
You told me you'd get me a blue tick.
I made inquiries over Christmas.
Is that on Twitter?
Yeah, apparently they don't give out blue ticks anymore.
Yeah.
I think
That's
because
why
of-
Jasper gave up the ghost, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So why do you call him Jasper?
Oh yeah. He does golden balls as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. Did you ever watch Golden Balls? Golden Balls.
Yeah. I didn't know he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still. Well, I'm not sure if it's still on. But basically, we were in the airport and we were kind of getting a bit giddy after a few San Miguel or something after the championship in France, wasn't it?
That we won that.
Yeah.
I remember.
And we were just trying to tweet the most random people ever, and you asked me who could we tweet, and Jasper Carrot popped into my head.
Jasper Carrot.
Yeah, isn't that the most
so
random?
good.
I know.
So good.
That was exactly the type of person I had in mind.
top of the list.
That's
like.
perfect.
Yeah, but Jasper, if you're watching, tweet back would be great.
Yeah. Oh well.
Or
Did you
listening.
tweet him?
Or listening.
Don't know.
Fancy a San Miguel.
Jasper,
Yeah.
give us a shout. Get in touch, and we'll give you some free.
Or
Biltong.
me.
Or
retweet.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why they don't do blue ticks anymore, I heard, is because of like terrorist activity on Twitter. So they don't want to like blue tick like authenticate someone
Who's a terrorist?
I don't. This is the way it was described to me. It didn't really make any sense.
This is what they
Just-
responded to.
but
he's
I-
There's no
telling you.
famous terrorists, though, is there?
Well, yeah,
Like that's how they.
that's how they get ousted. They get fined.
No, but what are you talking? Like, what's the?
That was the explanation given to me. It was a guy who used to be PR for Ulster. Now he's PR with Northern Ireland Football, and he got me. He made a few calls. It sounds like he's like.
Are you getting an
underworld.
allergic reaction to the Biltong?
I'm telling you.
You're going on a rage.
Yeah.
I follow an Al Qaeda account. Do you not follow them? No.
No.
But it's a comedy. It's a party account. But they've got a blue tick, and it's something to do with that. They've stopped giving out blue ticks,
Okay.
so you'll never get your blue tick.
I'm raging.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyone that's got them post like prior to this keeps their blue tick.
We maintain our blue tick, our blue tick status.
It's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. But Jasper, I don't think has a blue tick.
No. He doesn't strike me as a social media type of fella.
He's not a sellout, is he?
No. He's house phone type of fella, I'd say.
He's what?
House phone.
Yeah.
Landline.
What was his
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
Carrot to Carrot, was it?
I don't remember.
I only know him from the
Golden
Golden Balls.
Balls.
Yeah. Great show though, wasn't it?
Golden
Fairness,
Balls.
yeah.
No, what?
Tense.
So what's the story then? How you back in 1 from 1, no bother, straight back in next week into Europe?
Like it's so competitive in Leinster now, so it's just about any time you get an opportunity, trying to put your hand up and play a good game. Like I worked really hard to get back. It was 5 to 6 weeks, so to get that game before potentially getting selected for Europe was great. And
If anything, it's a good time to get injured. I know there's never a good time, but did you get your injury against the All Blacks?
I had it. I was kind of managing it, but it was the worst after the game. Yeah.
So then, what you miss? Obviously, you don't want to miss those 2 European games. But Leinster come through fine, no problem. Again, through the Interbrews, no problem. And then straight back in, hopefully, from your perspective anyway, back into Europe, 2 European games and straight back into Six Nations. So if you're going to get an injury, it's been perfect for you.
Yeah, like obviously it's no ideal time to get an injury, and it's just one of those things. I was carrying it for a while, and the lads did a great job while I was injured, and the other guys who are in and around the place, like loosehead wise, are playing really well. So it's it's an exciting place to be, and being able to come back into a winning team is massive.
It's maybe the Rob Kearney or the Sexton kind of model, isn't it? Get injured for a few games that are slightly less significant. Or the Drico was the classic, wasn't it? Play more European games than league games.
I don't think I'm in that stratosphere now. I'm just one of the.
I'm so humble.
Yeah.
I
Very
hate
humble.
how fake humble these Leinster guys are. Fake humility dripping off. Sure we won the double last year, but sure it's going to be really tough this year. There's so much competition in the squad. It's a nightmare. Walk straight back in, no bother to you.
No, you know me. I'm not like that.
No, you're not. You're not. That's why it's fun to slag you that you are. In fact, I would imagine if Rob Kearney's one end of the scale, you're the other. You're not that handsome, is what I'm saying.
Oh, thank you. I'm the ugly duckling.
He's nowhere near as burly, anyway. Are you looking forward to get back into Six Nations, a couple of home games, getting yourself along to Lemon on a Thursday?
You're going to be very sad.
I tried to take Barry there the other day.
Yeah.
What am I going to be sad about?
It's gone.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
Yeah. The building was sold, and I think it's getting knocked down or something. There's another one, but it's not as close.
It's the other one's the far side,
Yeah, the original one.
So when did that close? Did you have a November without Lemon?
Yeah, there was November with Lemon, and
Lemon's a pancake
Yeah,
place, by the
Lemon,
way.
yeah.
Is
yeah,
this
on
where you're
Dawson
bringing me?
Street.
I was going to take him. Yeah, I was gonna
That
take
we
him,
always used to go, or we always go to Thursday, Friday before games.
Yeah.
Literally,
Stock up on pancakes.
pretty much everybody. Yeah. But because they were closing down, your man gave us free pancakes and all the bits and pieces for Thursday, Friday for free for that New Zealand week. So everyone was crawling out of the woodworks for it. All the tight.
The New
staff
Zealand was
and
that was the last
players.
week. That was
Yeah,
it then?
that was it. Yeah, they were closing on the Sunday or something after the game. But, yeah.
Wow. I know it seems really fickle, as if going for a pancake on a Thursday is not
Envy.
that important. Yeah, nice. In the context of especially it being the All Blacks week. But there was something, Thursday afternoon, you get finished all your hard training at the start of the week, get back into Carton House Wednesday night, train hard Thursday morning, and then you get back out there, and it's the perfect little window in the week before Friday morning you wake up and you're already starting to get nervous and stressed about the game.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect window, Thursday afternoon.
It's great,
Everybody's in the form of their lives.
Yeah. It's great crack, yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting into the Shelburne and just kind of relaxing for a while. And,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. It's nowhere else you'd rather be.
So
like,
what's the routine going to be for you then?
just walk a bit further to the one on South William Street.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, keep the dream alive.
Yeah, exactly.
We're we're simple enough, aren't we?
We are. Do you know where we went for that coffee that Clempton Pico that morning?
No.
The really hipster place.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah,
They actually give you the country for your table, like a Japanese flag.
Oh, I know
maybe.
it. Norwegian one.
Yeah. So it's on
Japanese,
it's on that street.
Yeah.
So it's not
They
too
give you
far.
a few facts about the country.
I
And
think
stuff
so,
like
yeah.
That. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, I'm going to introduce.
Almost like it was scripted.
Yeah,
It was
this
perfect.
is for anyone who can't see, we've got a Japanese flag and an Irish flag, and it's like a swear jar that we're going to start contributing to so we can fund our trip to the World Cup next September. Thank you, Jack. So a few of the swears that we're not allowed to, anytime we mention Will Addison's name,
Yeah.
to put in
Just
Too
Does that
you
count?
or you?
both of us.
Either of us.
We both kind of love him.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Rugby. If we talk about rugby.
Pat has to. We talk about rugby. Pat has to.
Oh
There goes our hopes and dreams.
I'll tell you this.
The minute you mention rugby, the thing just comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Jack, I'd
There
say
you
you've
go.
been
Oh,
you've
shit.
been
Did it
you've been
again,
blown
sorry.
away by the level of professionalism with our production here, have you?
Yeah.
It's great.
As
I
you,
like it.
as you
I
walked
like
in,
it.
we were
If-
drawing a Japanese flag.
I like it.
When we get to Japan, I think we'll have to
Meet up for a sake bowl.
Yeah, and another chat. We'll have to sit
A
down.
ramen.
Perfect. Do they have ramens in Japan?
I hope so. I hope that's not racist, Jack.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's fine. It's probably fine. If it is, we can edit it out.
Yeah.
So speaking of the World Cup, do you look that far ahead? Do you make personal goals like that to kind of, obviously you want to play in it, but do you
I
look
know
that far ahead to
when
winning it,
we're
or-
starting pre-season anyway.
Okay.
So that's probably as far as I'd probably look. But it's it's exciting times, you know. Like it's after the November we just had. It's a great place to be, and everyone is excited, and there's confidence there that we know if we get it right, and we have the depth now. Even like with Levy, that time Levy getting injured, Josh coming in like for that New Zealand game.
Yeah. And Shawnee was already injured.
Exactly. Yeah. So Shawnee got injured. Levy came in, got injured, and then Josh came in. So like that's just an example of the depth that we're starting to get. We've 3 deep in every position, and it's exactly what you need to even think about going for a World Cup.
Is with the thought of the World Cup and the ambition that we have now, does that make Six Nations slightly less special or less of a, I don't know, I suppose, like everything was about the Six Nations in the past, and now does it dwarf it a little bit, or?
I don't think so, no, especially because England is our first game.
Yeah.
And it's like we want to be doing something special anytime we do wear the green jersey, so why not try and go for another Grand Slam? That's something that I would be trying to go for anyway.
Yeah.
If selected, so.
Pending selection.
Yeah, like.
That's your classic. If you mention anything to do with any games, or as long you always have to say pending selection, but otherwise
It
someone
is
slags
because
you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would always be conscious of like that. You know, I'd never
Yeah,
step too far ahead of myself.
yeah,
But
yeah. No, that always comes across. To be fair, your humility,
drenched in it.
drenched in fake humility.
Oh,
No, so what's the story then? So Six Nations, like it's still.
it means a lot.
It
yes,
means a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
But has everybody got
so far ahead of ourselves already? Like
We're-
Six Nations, nah.
Six Nations? Will we win? Will we bother winning the Six Nations? Go on, we'll win the Six Nations with our tier 2,
Yeah.
and we'll keep our tier 1 fresh to win the World Cup. Is that?
No, that's not it.
No.
That's not.
No, you're putting me in an awkward position here now.
Jack. No one really listens to this anyway. No serious rugby commentators listen to this.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's the
Except,
beauty of
who
it.
was it that said you need to talk more about rugby?
Yeah, to be fair, he listens to every podcast going.
Oh, does he?
Mark Robson. He'll listen to this and he'll tweet. Guarantee he'll tweet you after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Joe's not going to rest anyone or give any, like,
No.
you know, he's
I don't think that's the way
experiment.
to do it.
He's not going to experiment.
I don't think that's like, well, it's not the way guys want to be sort of looked after either. You want to be playing as much as you can to be as fresh as you can. And I know for me, I don't like to be rested. I like to play every week, and I know a lot of guys are the exact same. So you want to play as much as you can and force your hand, like, at any time you get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Church Healy, what's the story there? Like, he's a rascal, isn't he?
He's playing very well,
isn't he?
Yeah.
But what's he got that you haven't got, Jack?
I don't know.
Like, he's really athletic and all. He's obviously a machine. Like, but
That's it. Like, yeah. He's an absolute athlete. Like,
he came back. To be fair, didn't he? He dug deep and came back whenever he had that. Was it a neck injury or?
Yeah, he was very unlucky with a few bad knocks in a row, which could have stopped. Well, would have stopped most people.
Yeah.
But, like, in fairness to him, he's fought back, and, like, it just shows how much of a fighter he is.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and, like, I think we push each other on as well. And
Yeah.
it's always been the case. Like, I suppose any interview I do, it comes up between myself and him, and like, he's playing exceptionally well at the moment, and deserves all the plaudits that he's getting, and deserves to be where he is. So
it always brings the best out of someone, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Having I mean, again, for me it was Tommy.
Yeah.
So there was always mates, always good mates, but I always wanted to kind of pitch myself against him, or just compare myself to him, or for me it was always kind of just striving to get there.
Yeah, I think.
And it always brought the best out of me.
Yeah, definitely. And I like you said, we're two different players, so I don't try and emulate what he does, because I can't do what he does. I just try and do what I can do really well, and it's worked for me in the past, and just try and do it better every time, and like, I suppose over the last while I hadn't done myself any favours with my leg being the way it was, and Keane playing very well, and
you were struggling with it for a while.
Yeah, struggling with it for a while, and it was just one of those things, the way it happened with the way the season went. I didn't want to miss any of it with the trophies and stuff like that, and so it's the surgery came at the right time, and I feel like I'm back to my best, and
So how long had that been going on for then?
Probably started after the Lions.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I've kind of been carrying it a bit. And it just kind of got gradually worse. Yeah.
That's gotten, isn't it? Because as far as everybody else thinks, you're 100%, you're fully fit.
Yeah. But, like, it's just one of those things. It's
what was it, stopping you gym or stopping you do extras, or?
Yeah, it was just kind of hindering me, sort of. Definitely around the pitch, anyway. Kind of speed to feet off the floor, and kind of even small stuff like height and scrummaging and clearing out rucks and carries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where, like, you'd be trying to get up and you're just that little bit slower, and it makes you look like you're bollocks tired. Rather than I'm just trying to get up on my other leg, like, do you know what I mean? So it was just one of those things. Everyone goes through it, like, and you just have to kind of grin and bear it, and it just got to a point where we just said, this is about time to get it fixed, you know.
So so obviously then, that was it 5-6 weeks?
5 weeks, yeah.
And you were just flat out, you were just like giving yourself a hard time the whole time just to get back, or did you let yourself have a few days off over Christmas?
No, so, like, I worked hard coming up to Christmas and after Christmas, like, obviously Christmas Day and the 26th, we were training. I was due to be back on the pitch on the 27th, so like, obviously had a nice Christmas Day, like, enjoyed the 26th, but wasn't out drinking or anything like that. So yeah,
First
and
Christmas.
my date to be back on the pitch properly was to do the 27th team session before the Munster game.
Yeah. So it's
So that was my aim, and then this game was my aim to be back. So yeah, I like with all the rehab, like I can't thank all the physios and stuff enough. They've been brilliant, and like a guy, funnily enough, a guy I went to school with, Brendan O'Connell, is a physio, and he came over with me. Well, my wife came over with me to get the surgery, but Brendan came over to bring me back, and then we went over again for a chat again with the surgeon, and then my physio, like all Gareth Farrell and Carl Denver. Carl Denver was taking my rehab, and like there's literally no better place in the world to be than Leinster if you're rehabbing, and they're so meticulous, like down to every day, and even S&C with Charlie Higgins and Killian Reardon. It's brilliant. So yeah, 5 weeks. I just said this is 5 weeks to try and get to the best shape I can and hit the ground running, because with the window that I have to get back for the Ulster game and for the 2 European games, like you can't be behind the 8 ball, and like you need to be sharp in training to be getting picked. So I wanted to be fit and raring to go when the time came.
Yeah, and you're 100%. You're feeling sweet straight away.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
How were the lungs first game out?
We were just talking about it before the game or before this. It was like, what was it, 10 minutes? Or the first 10 minutes was ridiculously fast, and I ran back to the
Tried, it was like 27 phases, 3 minutes of rugby. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I ran back. I was like to Charlie. I was like, Jesus, I need my second wind here. And then I actually felt all right. Jesus. Yeah. And I barely got that out. But yeah, it was good. I actually felt really good. And like the way it goes now, we're kind of all hauled off at 50 minutes. But I felt like I could have played 10 or 15 more.
Brilliant.
So, where probably before I would have struggled with that. So now, yeah, it's I feel much better anyway.
Happy days. And you're all set then for, fingers crossed, hopefully we've got more game time this weekend against Toulouse.
Yeah, please God, yeah.
And we're hoping, again, as neutrals, we're hoping for a similar game to last time. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I thought you had another present.
I was going to bring...
Jeez, if the lungs are burning last weekend, if it's a similar game to what it was in Toulouse,
yeah,
100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and sure, that pitch over there is like, I've never played on anything like it. It's so stodgy as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Dirty, yeah.
Yeah, we were scummaging on it, and like it was like gravel underneath the first level. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. So I think we can, like, they're dangerous in counter attack and everything like that. But I think if we can keep the game quick, like we know how good they are, but if we can keep the game quick, we can put their forwards under pressure, definitely.
I have to ask you about your Christmas. Did you, of course, you're married to Sinead, who is the daughter of RT's famous commentator, Michael Corcoran. Is that just a dream for Michael Corcoran, having a son-in-law like you?
No.
No, is it not?
Not from Munster.
Surely he must have lambasted you in his father of the bride speech.
No, it actually only came out that we were... like the connection between himself and myself was after we got married, when he put something up.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people in the public would have known, and so like you're not going to be telling people, you know. So
because you're ashamed.
No. It's just I'm quite a private person, so it's not something that like I want everyone knowing about, you know.
Yeah.
Just for but anyway, but. I think it was 2FM took the piss out of his speech.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were saying like, why couldn't you have married a Munster man? You could have Connor, you could have had Peter. Why? So it was absolutely hilarious, in fairness, and you can just hear like somebody in the background be like, "Dad, stop, you're ruining the wedding." It was actually unreal, in fairness to them. So, but they're always taking the piss out of him, I think.
More so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
My father-in-law doesn't know the first thing about rugby, doesn't follow rugby at all.
That's good.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, like, have you ever slagged you on the radio if you do something wrong? Or
I wouldn't have heard it.
That's my son-in-law. Yeah. Give him a break. He's carrying an injury. He's been carrying an injury for a couple of years.
Not that I've heard of, anyway. No, he wouldn't. He's a good man. He wouldn't. Yeah, blood is thicker than water.
Well, you're not actually.
I know that. Just you to pick that up. You bollocks.
Jack, you're an absolute legend. It's been great to have you on the show, and maybe we'll get you on another time. But it's been
in Japan.
Has it been everything I thought it was?
Way beyond.
It hasn't.
Yeah.
It's been good, yeah.
No, it's been up there.
He brought out the best in you, to be honest.
Yeah. He's been doing that for years.
Really, yeah.
I got you probably 3 more years in your rugby career.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah, when we roomed together, or
yeah.
Is that
where
just
was that?
What do you mean when? That was a few times.
No, we didn't.
In fact, I remember
tour. We didn't room on tour, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, it was Shelburne.
And Carton House a few times as well.
Yeah, that was great.
I remember being kind of like requesting to room with you at one stage, and then you were like, "Oh, Trimby, I've kind of got this thing with Pete."
See the moment, his heart breaks.
I felt so shut down. Oh, Pete.
Start spreading rumours about them. Split them up.
Anyway, good man. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
Legends.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Okay, right, you're welcome back to the House of Rugby Roundup. We've already touched on Munster's away trip to Gloucester, so we'll look ahead to Leinster taking on Toulouse on Saturday at 1 p.m, and then Ulster's make-or-break game against Racing 92. Leinster versus Toulouse, that game at the Stade Ernest Wallon back in October was probably the best European match of the season. Both sides really going for it, so I think might be expecting more of the same this weekend.
Yeah, I would have thought so. It looks, I mean, it's only that last game, but as you say, it looks like Leinster are just starting to get back to just clicking with each other a little bit. I think you would imagine they'll get through it okay. As Jack says, if it's loose and you give their back three a little bit of space, kick loosely to them, then they could be very dangerous. But I think if Leinster kind of manage the game and just outsmart them a little bit.
I think, I watched Toulouse today, and they were against Agen, and they were very much. You see what as you see,
Come see.
They rely on those moments of genius from Medar and Ntamak and Huget and Colby to just do something out of nothing to score tries.
Yeah, no doubt there will be a couple of moments.
Yeah,
but I still think Leinster will be okay.
Yeah, you'd wonder that Leinster they don't often play against a team of that experience.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. A lot of is that a fair point? Or for any Pro 14 teams, sometimes they're. I think that the top 14 teams are playing against. They put their best teams out every weekend. So there's such high level of experience there that they kind of know how to win games, as we saw in the previous fixture in Toulouse. That they do have that JOE style of rugby, but
that JOE style, more often than not, it doesn't work
against
an Irish side, against a Leinster. It doesn't really work unless you're as talented and as relentless, and I suppose get a few moments of brilliance or a few moments of luck.
I think they did have a few moments of luck, didn't they?
But I think the stars aligned for that performance. They're obviously very, very capable of it, but I think just the Leinster juggernaut will.
Ntamak not liking to tackle like his dad, I think. His one huge
Zing.
gaping hole. That's my boy.
That's right.
So I think, maybe target him if anyone from Leinster is watching. You heard it here first. But it is going to be a cracking game. I can't wait for it. All the games this weekend are going to be brilliant, especially the Irish teams that are involved. Racing versus Toulon. I watched Racing. They had Teddy Thomas.
Yeah.
Looked like he picked up a hamstring strain, so it doesn't look like he...
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
He got in for that. Again, I love a switch.
Yes, it was. See?
Of Finn Russell.
Yeah, that was some try. Like,
nice, wasn't it?
He's absolutely class, and he just had a couple of brilliant moments in the game that you're going like, this guy is unstoppable. But yeah, I think he looked like he would.
He's pretty stoppable now.
He looked. Don't be laughing. Jeez, he looked like he was crying. He was actually looked like he might have been crying a bit.
Stop!
So,
Don't make me feel bad.
Now,
I didn't mean.
Yeah, sorry, Teddy. But obviously they.
Sorry, Ted.
Sorry, Ted.
This is terrible. This is heartless stuff.
Eat your biltong. Look, they've plenty of more ammo in their kit with Fakatawa. Zeebs and Russell have a great kind of understanding at the moment. Nagawara scored the try again yesterday. So a lot of Ulster up against a lot. But, in the game that they played over in Paris, they showed some really promising moments. I think the whole spectacle maybe got to them that night with the big screen and the TV and the music and the cheerleaders and all that. Just the game became a little bit of a farce. But I think it'll be a different story up in Ravenspan. So I don't know. I'd love to think there could be an upset.
No, I don't. I definitely think Ulster can beat them in Belfast. Very, very capable of getting a win, definitely. I think if we'd have been talking about it, we probably were. After the Scarlets back to back, Ulster, it was the new Ulster, and I think just because they've had to rotate a couple of guys for the last game and things didn't go according to plan in Galway, I'm very confident that they'll get the big guys back in, and I'm not saying they'll get the job. I'm not very confident that they're going to get the job done, but they're certainly going to give it a go. I think they'll get very close. I think they're more than capable of beating Racing in Belfast. Yeah, I still think it's very, very difficult for them to qualify as top. We're going to get into all the permutations of all the points, but very, very difficult. But I definitely think they can beat them in Belfast.
Yeah, going to Welford Road in a few weeks will be a tough one for them as well. Leicester were quite good yesterday, but
Leicester have turned the corner a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah,
shame.
It is. It is.
From a perspective.
Yeah, it is. Like of all times for it to happen. Ford was brilliant for them yesterday. Really controlled the game. So, but yeah, I think like Finn Russell and Zeebs, they've got that little inside option which caught Ulster a lot in the last game. Just Ulster having a nice tip on his outside with a back door, but then he's always got really nice support runners on the inside. And then when he has a little break himself, his offloading has been spectacular. So I think we'll see running rugby from both sides. So it'll be good for us kind of onlookers. Maybe not yourself. Are you working for that one? Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
You'd be nervous.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Do a bit of homework.
Yeah, be grand. But moving on to our Guinness Maid of More Player of the Weekend. Here are your nominees: Munster's Peter O'Mahony and Joey Carbery, both huge games. Leinster's Conor O'Brien, of course, and Connacht's Tom Farrell. Thanks for all your votes and comments. The winner is Joey Carbery.
Is this his first set of O'Connell's teeth?
Yes. I think this might be the first Munster set of the teeth anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure O'Mahony's got them now. Oh, since we decided they were actually getting teeth.
Yeah.
Rather than just getting a well done.
Yeah.
Effectively, they're still just getting a well done.
Yeah.
I liked your one last week where you just popped the teeth out.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what I did? That was I was being really. I was going because I was like throwing like that. For some reason, I just went autopilot. You know that you do like the grenade celebration. So that's what I was doing.
It looked like you were taking the teeth out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I got away with it for that reason.
We should get a video of the person catching the teeth.
Yeah.
Giving a thumbs up. Woo, and then putting them in their mouth.
Catching them in their mouth.
In their mouth. Way better. Yeah, Joey, they're on the way. Congratulations to you on that huge award. Obviously, that's a major one for you. We also put out our hashtag AskHOR for any of your Twitter questions. Some of the ones that came back were Owen Hayes, who had loads of questions. We'll get to one. Who are the top 5 Irish out-halves based on current form? Good question. Do you want to hear my 5?
Okay.
Sexton, obviously. Carbery. Carty.
Yeah.
Byrne. And Frawley.
In that order?
Yeah.
Fine. I'm happy with that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just after Frawley had a good game the weekend, I think he deserves to get in there 5th. Because we're
That's
talking.
fine. Okay.
Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Cool on. Thanks for that.
Cheers, Owen.
Matthew Skillen, great question. What breed of dog would best suit each province and why?
That's more like it, Matthew.
Excitement.
Leinster have to be a house dog.
Okay.
They have to be like,
Yeah, you couldn't. You just picture an apartment, don't you? And
yeah.
yeah,
It's a penthouse apartment now.
yeah,
Because the Leinster D4 owner
yeah.
will be living it up with it'll be a poodle or a miniature schnauzer or
The most expensive
yeah,
dog
Yeah.
you could find.
chai chai.
Yeah,
Yeah, something posh.
yeah. You could put in your handbag, maybe.
Yeah. And all the other 3 provinces, they're all rescue dogs from when Leinster from when Leinster decide their dog isn't cute enough.
They send them out to the other provinces.
Ulster, Connacht, and Munster go, gee, he's easily cute enough for us.
I was thinking kind of more of a mutt, but yeah, way better. Yeah, Munster have theirs is a loyal rescue dog.
Yeah.
Definitely, 'cause we're so loyal. That's very good. Thank you, Sean.
I was out for coffee with my wife in the summer, and we're sitting in this coffee shop, and there was a dog tied up outside, and it was a red setter. Do you know a red setter?
Yeah. Bus Éireann dog.
Huh?
The Bus Éireann dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And Anna turned to me and she goes, "If you were a dog, that would be you." And I looked round, saw this red setter, and they're like stupid looking and dumb and clumsy and uncoordinated.
They're often too big for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that guy. So I kind of took it with a pinch of salt. Thought this is just a slag. And then friends of ours arrived, and Anna goes, "Here." Found he was a dog, and they were like, "Yeah, we were just thinking that."
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be if I was a dog.
Something more complimentary than her red setter.
I think red setters are lovely, man.
They're thick.
They're stupid though,
They're
aren't
stupid
they?
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, not that you're stupid, but they're
No, but they are.
They are.
And I'm like them. So.
Finally, Sean McGowan asks, is it time for a 5th Irish province so we can give young talents a real taste of professional game? Should Ireland A be revived? 2 questions there. 5th Irish province.
On the Aran Islands.
Yeah. Oh, we have to go to the Aran Islands for Christmas. God. If Galway wasn't hard enough in the piss and rain, we have to go to the Aran
Can you
Islands.
fly direct?
To get the boat out. Oh, Jesus.
Send the Muppets.
Jeez, if Munster, Ulster and Connacht are rescue dogs, what are
Oh, jeez.
the Aran Islands?
They're mangy, horrible.
Rabid dogs.
They're dogs. They arrive at the Aran Islands with
The cone on.
yeah, they've got lampshades
Lampshade on.
on their neck, and they get by the locals in the Aran Islands. They get nursed back to health, and they're just good enough to play.
Yeah. Oh.
But they're like limping around the pitch with like 3 legs and stuff.
They mostly get put down. They go to the Aran Islands. Any rugby player that goes to the Aran Islands, they're going to live on a person's farm.
There's crosses all over, like just planted like dead dogs being buried left, right, and centre in the Aran Islands. Dead 3-legged dogs.
Oh, we should have sent you to the Aran Islands, man. That's great. Seriously, Sean, I don't know if maybe the A's could be brought up again. Pat asked us earlier, were there any good memories from the Ireland days? I would say no. There was once an Ireland A match that was cancelled in the RDS because of the snow, and that's the best memory I have of the Ireland days, because it was cancelled. It was a weird time to be alive playing Ireland A.
It was very tough to get up for. It was miserable.
Yeah, no one seemed to want to be there.
Which is a bit snobby of us, I suppose. It's still the opportunity to put on a green jersey, so maybe it was our attitudes weren't great, but you never saw it that way. You never saw it as a chance to play for Ireland. You saw it as a chance of as not being allowed to play for Ireland, I suppose, and just not quite making the cut or not getting the nod.
Could be better now. I don't know if you'd get the other internationals to. They've got such a heavy schedule. I don't know if you'd get any of the other international teams to put together an A team. So
I don't think they need any more rugby.
Yeah,
they're already resting, rotating guys for big games as it is.
Yeah, look, these guys are getting a lot of rugby at the moment as well. They're the Leinster players that are coming through. They're seeing a lot. Like Ulster, obviously, they can't put out that strongest team every week, so they're going to have to blood these young lads as often as possible to bring them through. So, and a lot of people were asking questions at the start of the year as to whether games would become less interesting because teams aren't putting forward their best teams. But I'm really enjoying seeing.
Yeah, they've actually made it, haven't they? They've made the Interpros have been way better than they have been in the last few years, because the standard of that second tier or the second choice Leinster side or Munster or Ulster, whatever, are all performing well enough to still make it a spectacle. Yeah.
So thank you very, very much for all those questions, lads. And thanks to everyone else for your comments, for listening and for watching us on YouTube. If you're enjoying the show, please do remember to subscribe and leave a rating or a comment. Big thank you to everyone that made the show possible today. Thanks again to Jack McGrath for coming in. This has been Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby here on Joe, together with Guinness. Party on. Yay.